Angel. Because I would have been like, how naive can you be?
After Caitlin Clark won yet another major sports world trophy, Angel Reese is completely losing it.
Let's look at the big news, which is Caitlin Clark has been named the Associated Press Female Athlete of the Year.
But hey, we all experience jealousy. The issue, dear Angel, isn't that you're feeling envious. Rather, it's that you're out here hosting marathon live streaming on your purported platform without apology, while Clark is busy working hard.
Was Angel Reese even in the conversation on this? Because I cannot imagine that she was. Somewhere her and Asia and Cheryl Swoops are all punching air, okay? Be in shambles. That's all we got to say. Be in shambles.
And then, as if that weren't enough, you try to change the story by saying that Clark's success is just the result of white privilege and that her fans are racists. Angel, blaming the world for your failures isn't as cocky as you think it is. Perhaps you should learn from Clark's example and work hard, stay focused, and let your game speak for itself. However, it's obvious that self-awareness isn't your strong suit.
Notice that doesn't say female basketball player of the year. Nah, she's female athlete. She beat out, for example, Simone Biles. All right, not to mention the Asia Wilsons and Angel Reeses of the world.
While Caitlin Clark was out there rewriting history books and etching her name into the Mount Rushmore of women's basketball, Angel Reese was the ultimate ambassador of finger-wagging, the queen of taunting, and the maestro of theatrics. Let's talk about how Angel Reese totally missed the memo about what matters in sports skill legacy and, not embarrassing yourself on a world platform because he was too busy auditioning for the next viral TikTok moment.
Angel Reese, you can't be the big bad wolf, but then kind of cry like Courage the Cowardly Dog. Nobody mourns when the villain catches an L. And Angel Reese, you have self-proclaimed.
Not only did Caitlin Clark rule 2024, but she completely destroyed it. Let's just say that her rookie season was so impressive that even basketball purists probably had to check their stats twice. She led the league in scoring with over 27 points per game, broke more than 60 records, and was the first WNBA player to win Time Magazine's Athlete of the Year award since the award's inception in 2019. What Angel Reese was doing was reliving her 15 minutes of fame from a year-old championship game, where her antics overshadowed the actual victory, because why celebrate your team's victory when you can turn the spotlight on yourself? Even Cheryl Swoops had to accept this time. Clark wasn't just good. She was transcendent.
The fact that that's the very first WNBA player to ever win Time Magazine Athlete of the Year is pretty special.
Although she brought the Indiana Fever, yes, the same team that hadn't made it to the playoffs since 2016, back into contention, Clark's brilliance wasn't only confined to stats. Her games were a must-watch on television on their own. In the meantime, her arenas were packed and her influence went beyond the court, as evidenced by Forbes' 30 under 30 comparisons to LeBron James and Michael Jordan. Her role as a walking, talking lesson on what not to do if you want to be taken seriously appears to be Reese's greatest contribution to basketball culture. It's almost poetic how Reese's NCAA championship antics now seem like history, especially given how completely Clark's accomplishments have eclipsed her.
When you literally go on Twitter and you search Rookie of the Year, Angel Reese, it is like everybody talking about why she's not a good basketball player. Yes, okay, a lot of her rebounds are her own rebounds, but she's having a historic season just like Caitlin Clark is, and I think that she deserves a lot more credit than what she's getting.
Can we stop? See, so that right there is part of the problem. Let's stop comparing her to Caitlin Clark. Like, let's not.
I'm saying season. People are doing that. No, I said she's having a historic season just like Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, but
Caitlin Clark is setting assist records. She's setting rebound rookie records.
They're very different things, and so I think that's where a lot of the hate comes in. If I can be honest, if we really want to resolve Angel receiving as much vitriol as she does, we have to separate the two because right now they are conjoined. But Angel's game is very, very different than Caitlin's. If we're able to stop tying them together, I think way more people will appreciate the things that Angel does well, as opposed to defending the greatness that is Caitlin Clark and what she does well.
Let's not fool ourselves. Angel Reese had an incredible collegiate career. Her numbers during LSU's championship season were impressive, averaging 23 points and 15.4 rebounds per game. However, The issue is that her legacy isn't about those numbers. Rather, it's about that finger wag, that arrogant ring pointing, and that famous taunt directed at Caitlyn. What could have been her defining moment was turned into a sideshow act by Clark Reese, and worse, the audience has moved on. Clark's the main event, and Reese is the awkward post-credit scene, and no one asked for the truth. Controversy may be popular for a day, but excellence remains.
Are you kidding me? As Female Athlete of the Year, oh, the wokes will be in shambles.
Are you serious? If I win Female Athlete of the Year, the wokes will be in ruins. There is no greater contrast between these two athletes. Clark lets her game do the talking. Her plaudits and numbers speak for themselves, so she doesn't need to wave phantom rings or wag fingers. The way Clark's brilliance shines brighter with every passing day, while Reese's viral moment has aged like milk left out in the sun, is almost tragic. Reese, on the other hand, seems to be locked in a loop, desperately trying to stay current with theatrics that feel more forced by the day. Congratulations! Now, let's discuss grace under pressure during Angel Reese's criticism. While Reese has spent more time trying to build her brand than honing her craft, Caitlin Clark remained focused, remained humble, and gave performances that left the sports world in awe. It's like watching someone try to decorate a house on a crumbling foundation, flashy on the outside, but with no substance to support it. Social media with this one, it had a field day with the cruel analogies, memes, and roasts. People appreciate a good clapback, but not at the expense of competence and authenticity. It's evident that public opinion isn't exactly on Reese's side anymore. Everyone respects Clark because of his unwavering talent and dedication. It seems like a noisy, cheap copy of Reese's fame. However, hollow, and the hits simply kept coming in the end. Clark's supremacy doesn't need to be defended since she didn't just win prizes for optics, she earned them. Reese's devoted admirers did their best to create a defense, yelling racial bias and double standards from the rafters, but those arguments fell apart faster than Reese's reputation. All WNBA First-Team Rookie of the Year, 4th in MVP voting, and more than 60 records broken in one season. Not only winning, but redefining greatness. Fans of Reese may like to argue that this is biased, but the truth is that Clark is the benchmark. Conversely, it appears that Rhea is clutching to controversy because, well, she has nothing else.
When you're talking about, athlete, you're talking about her college run.
Yeah, the run she had last year.
Her college run
into a rookie year to now, to date.
Yeah.
Yeah, the women's college tournament, I believe.
All the eyes she brought to the league this year.
Yeah, outperforming the men's.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Let's discuss Clark's famous rookie season performance, which was a masterclass in dominance. 3-point range, laser-sharp assists, and court vision so good it's nearly X-ray vision. The best thing is that she is using her platform to encourage others, particularly Black women in sports, as women's basketball has never had this level of attention before. Reese has been oddly quiet about all of this for someone who thrives on being loud and provocative, while Caitlin Clark is a trailblazer on and off the court. Even though Reese is aware that she cannot match Clark's degree of greatness, her silence now speaks for itself.
I think it's great, not just for her. I think it's great for the league.
Yeah.
Right? Like everybody talked about the recognition that she brought to the W this season. So for her to be Time Magazine Athlete of the Year, I think it's really great for the league.
However, let's not pretend that Reese hasn't attempted to change the perception. She unabashedly created her podcast, Angel, which, in all honesty, seems more like a last-ditch effort to contain the damage than a sincere venture. Reese is having trouble finding something to maintain the relevance of her name. The issue is that nobody is interested in Reese's podcast or her most recent marketing stunts since all they can think about is Clark pointing fingers at her. She doesn't require gimmicks. Reese's legacy, on the other hand, is linked to a brief viral event that has already become a running joke on the internet. Her legacy is tied to her performances, her humility, and her ability to elevate the game.
Who has a new weekly podcast called Unapologetically Angel. Because I would have been like, how naive can you be? But she is young. She's only 22. And the reality is the scrutiny that she's been subjected to is inexcusable, it's egregious, it's disgusting, it's wrong.
Here's the thing. This goes beyond basketball statistics. What it means to be great is the subject of this. In addition to being an athlete, Caitlin Clark's Time magazine honor is a declaration that she is a generational talent, a pioneer, and a movement. In contrast, Reese, despite her talent, feels constrained by her own antiquities. The difference between their journeys is nearly Shakespearean. Whereas Reese's path is enmeshed in controversy and theatricality, Clark's is founded on excellence and humility. It's similar to attending a masterclass on handling success as opposed to a crash session on what not to do.
And Clark is the reason why everybody has an opinion on what happened in that game.
Even their rivalry's wider ramifications are instructive. Everyone respects Clark, not only for her skill, but also for the grace she has transformed. The story of women's basketball is one of comparisons to greats like LeBron and Jordan, while Reese is stuck trying to balance the scales with a brand built on trash talk and finger-wagging. The gap between the two isn't just wide, it's a canyon, and as Clark's accolades continue to pile up, Reese's relevance seems to be fading faster than anyone anticipated. Let's face it, though. If Reese wants to save her legacy, she must change quickly. Theatrics must stop, and the emphasis must shift to her game. But let's not hold our breath. Reese has never been good at being subtle or self-aware when she's preoccupied deciding what to do next. Here, Clark is creating history. Although Reese may have had her day in the NCAA spotlight, Clark currently holds the limelight. Reese is wonderful, no doubt, but Clark is generational, and as long as people continue to honor Clark, here is the brutal reality. Reese is left fumbling to remain relevant in a story that has obviously moved on without her. You might make headlines with Angel Reese's antics, but you won't leave a legacy. It's time to take note because, while Caitlin Clark is busy creating an empire, you're stuck serving as the court jester in her kingdom. Clark is out there becoming a global icon, taking women's basketball to heights never seen before, while you're still riding the coattails of a brief, viral moment.